Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of VendrCast. This is a place where event professionals can give you their raw, real takes on everything happening and share some of their challenges, their stories, their wins, and even losses. My name is Devin. I am the owner of All Digital Photo and Video, and I will be your host for today. We've got two amazing guests here, which we'll get to here in a second. But as always, we got to do the we got to thank the sponsors, the people that make this possible. So, first of all, we have Lionsgate Event Center. If you haven't been there, you got to check it out. It's in Lafayette, and it is one of the most unique venues you'll probably ever see. We've got the Gatehouse, the Dove House, and the Chandelier Barn. If you haven't been there, definitely check it out. They do corporate, they do weddings, they do events, and that's all they do. And they're very, very good at it. And they have an awesome team as well. And then our other sponsor is none other than All Digital Photo and Video. So I have to give ourselves a little plug here. We do photography, videography, live streaming. If you've got content that you need made, if you've got some sort of vision, we can get you from start to finish, no matter what it is, whether it's social media, whether it's a podcast like this, or you just need some headshots or a quick family session, we've got you covered. So without further ado, we will jump into this week's episode. We're calling this the September Storm. And if you guys are in the event industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is September. It's getting real.
Mhm.
We're burned out. It's the busiest month, usually, of the year. And that's why we need a podcast like this, so we can all come together and gripe about our clients and be real. Um, so with that being said, I want to jump right in. We've got a couple guests here, one of which I know very well. I've known for a very long time, a good friend of mine. We've worked a lot of events together. And another, which I just met today in person for the first time, but I've had a number of phone calls with her, and she's an amazing lady. The more I find out about her, the more I like. So I will not do the intros. I'll let you guys do it yourself. But we have over here to my left, we have Mr. Michael, DJ Lil Joe Waldron. How you doing?
Sir, I am doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Excuse me. So, um, I'm super excited because next month I start my 26th year DJing
Wow.
full time.
Wow.
With everything I've done, just 26 years in the industry. So, woo,
Amazing. And
what a
you're
ball, you know?
you're still here. Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
should probably address that. So like I buzz my hair for those of you who haven't seen me in a while. And that's why I brought Mike on. So the shock value is a little bit, it's a little less
that's the
shocking.
real reason. I got you. I
See,
got
now you
you.
understand. But yeah, so 26 years, man. You've probably seen a lot.
I've seen a ton, but I've also been incredibly, incredibly grateful to be able to do everything I have and just so fortunate to have built all the relationships like I have with you and so many others over the time. And yeah, it's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
And has it all that 26 years been here in Colorado?
Yeah, I've bounced around a couple of different places and I've, DJ'd in other states and all that and in other countries for, music festivals, but my home base has always been in Colorado.
Very cool.
So
Well, thank you for coming on.
thank you for having
Um,
me.
yeah, I literally made a Facebook post, what, a week ago?
Yeah.
And Michael was one of the people that responded to it. If you did respond to that, I will get you on. I'm so sorry if we've got guests for the next like 6 months. So thank you to everybody that responded. And to my right, we've got Carlie Scott, Creative Littleton. Carlie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm also just incredibly excited to be here. I think that it's amazing how the universe just brings certain people together and was not really expecting this intro to happen the way that it did, but was very grateful to have that. And so you continue to introduce me to more and more people within this industry that I'm just really hitting it off with. So I feel very lucky. About myself, I'm an office or operations manager here at Creative Littleton. So we're actually in um, Creative Littleton event space. We are located in historic downtown Littleton. We're a newer event space. We opened last August in 2024. Things are going so extremely well for us. And we just feel so lucky to be in this space, creating great events and working with our community. I'm continuing to learn. So, my professional history, I have over 10 years experience in corporate event planning. And I landed with Creative Littleton this last February. And so a little bit of a shift moving into the venue space, but I think I'm able to bring a lot of skill set from previous roles and things like that into what we're doing here. Again, we're a little bit of a unique and what I would consider a boutique event space. Our event space is fully curated with art and furniture, which is accredited to our amazing owner, who's an interior designer. So I think people love just being in this space. It has such a great vibe to it.
Definitely.
The building itself, as I mentioned, is historic. It's over 120 years old. It used to be a blacksmith shop in the
Wow.
60s and 70s.
Oh,
It was an automotive garage. It's just been so many different things throughout the history. And the community here stops in all the time and shares stories about how, even when it was these other businesses, it was always a place where the community came to gather.
Mm.
And so, without sounding like too woo woo or anything like that, I just think the space really has a fun vibe. And so, it makes me happy when other people come in and they experience it for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, even just when we were setting up, we had so many people walking by and kind of wandering in, and you get the feeling that, the foot traffic here, it really has that community feel, that small community feel, even a place like Littleton, which is really neat.
Yeah, it always baffles me. I mean, I'm a Colorado native and grew up in the Littleton area. So for me, I just have a ton of memories about this space. But I think there's so many people in Colorado, in Denver, that maybe haven't ventured down to the Littleton area, aren't aware of this space. And so I encourage people to come down. We have a great main street with other businesses and restaurants and things like that. And yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance or it's been a while, please come see us.
Yeah, and I actually left that out of our thank yous. Thank you to Creative Littleton,
Oh yeah.
and thank you for allowing us to occupy this space and do the podcast here. Special shout out to Don Williams, for helping us kind of coordinate all the venues and, connecting us with different people. I just have to pinch myself sometimes, because creating this podcast, like the outpouring of support and people that want to come on, that want to collaborate, be a part of it, um, has just been almost overwhelming to a point. So thank you.
Yeah.
Like I can't say that enough, and truly we really really appreciate it. Um, and so with you going from corporate planner to sort of now a venue, managing a venue,
Yeah.
is it less chaotic? Do you like it better, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know that I like one more than the other. I think that, the challenges and the things I'm trying to learn and make sure that I'm prepared for are, you know, contracts are different. Some of just like the legal stuff you have to deal with and being familiar with that has been unique and different. But what I will say is, as you mentioned, we get a lot of walk by traffic. And one of the things that surprises me all the time is people say to me, I don't have a reason to have a party, but if you give me a reason, I'll do something. And so in that way, I'm still able to very much kind of step into my planner role and work with clients by saying, okay, like, what is it? Is it a client event that we're looking to host? Is it a special birthday party? Is it just a girl or guys night that we want to get some friends together for? And then based off of that experience that I bring, connect them with amazing vendors that we have here in Colorado that are doing such great things, whether it's in the catering space. Um, Bartending services have just absolutely blown me away now with what the bartenders are creating and what they can offer clients. It's so experiential. It's so different than just having somebody in a space pouring a drink. Um, and then again, just kind of activations and experiences and things like that. So that aspect that I didn't lose that I still have that here at
Mhm.
Creative Littleton is so incredibly meaningful to me. And I think that again, feedback from our clients that have worked with us really appreciate that as well. Um, Corporate event planning, the thing that I'm really honest with people about that I do miss is all the money.
So sweet, sweet money.
Yeah, just corporate planning, there was a lot of funds. A lot of times you can plan some really great big events and they don't really blink an eye at budget or anything like that. So you kind of have this unlimited freedom. And I think sometimes the challenge that we have is being able to work with clients that are on maybe tighter budget restrictions and things like that, but still give them great experience, great service, and not let that at all hinder us.
It's well said. Well
I
said,
love it.
for sure. Yeah, I was going to ask you actually. can you host our Christmas party here?
Hey, there you
I'm on a
go.
budget.
Slip it in. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I see what you're
We're ahead.
saying. No, I always say like with the corporate side, um, I like working with corporate clients too. I think that there's good and bad like in every, sector of the industry. But with corporate clients, it's like you have someone spending someone else's money
Hmm.
and they just want it to be right so that their boss isn't mad at them. So it's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that's why yeah, we do a lot of corporate work and I'd say we're, probably 50-50. Do you do corporate as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get on the corporate side everything from, hey, just come in, plug in, and play for an hour and a half to, hey, come set up a whole sound system, run AV and projectors and the whole gamut. So I mean, I've done from one extreme to the other. Absolutely.
Yeah, I try to stay away from AV as much as possible.
It's different for sure. There's definitely a lot more bells and whistles, if you will, and more things riding on it. But at the same time, it's one of those things like it breaks up the monotony
Mm.
Yeah.
sometimes for me. I mean, I love what I do. I mean, I love the industry, obviously, but sometimes from a DJ standpoint, it's nice to do something different. I
Hmm.
still get to, per se, play with all the cool toys, if
Yeah.
you will,
Wow.
but do something different in the wheelhouse and be able to excel at that too. So it's great.
So with the AV stuff, do you do like, you said projection and stuff like that? Do you do any of the like actual hardwire cameras, like ETZ stuff?
I leave that to you.
Okay.
I keep my stuff pretty basic. More along the line of sound.
Sound and lighting.
Sound and lighting.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do projectors and projector screens and that kind of stuff, but any camera work and all that stuff, I leave to you and the other
Yeah.
pros. I
Yeah.
don't do that.
It's it's a lot. Like we were just talking before, just like this small setup, this is just a four camera little podcast and it takes four guys two
Oh yeah,
hours, it's like and even then it's like you're right up until the last minute just making sure everything's perfect. So
Right.
I think the hardest part with AV is that like I always say if I'm filming an event and I screw up, nobody knows
Mm.
until, yeah, a few weeks later.
until they do.
But if the AV person messes up,
Yeah.
literally everyone in the room is doing this. They're
Yeah.
Yes.
like,
Hmm.
If something happens with sound
Yeah.
or something's not on the screen or whatever,
yeah,
everyone's looking around like, who do we blame? Who do we blame? Yeah.
I, s-
Mike's not working. Who do we blame?
Yeah.
I stay as far away as I can from it. But yeah, I much prefer the like cinematography for sure.
It's crazy because you just started this, but then looking at this whole setup and everything that you're doing to put this on, it actually does not surprise me in any way, shape, or form, knowing you the way I do, because you don't do anything basic.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it,
Yeah.
you do it right, and you are. So,
Yeah. I would echo.
congratulations on this podcast. This
Yeah.
is awesome.
I would
Thank you
echo
guys.
that 100%. I mean, talking to people as you guys were getting set up and everything, and having people ask like, "How's that going?" I was like, "Oh my God, it looks like a TV studio in our event
It's so
space."
We got a
Like,
lot
I
of
mean,
looks.
you guys
Yeah.
got, yeah, I mean, you brought in so much stuff, and the quality of equipment and just the knowledge of your staff as well is so apparent. And so I applaud you also on the podcast. I'm excited that you're doing it and that you've got people lined up so that you can continue doing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was I was genuinely surprised at like the level of interest. I was like, really? People really every freaking DJ in town, I swear. What is it with these DJs, man? They like literally just love hearing themselves talk, I guess. But you have a really great voice. I've always said,
Oh yeah.
Thank
have you guys ever played the game You Don't Know Jack?
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. You do kind of sound like him. I get, yeah.
If we could pull up a clip.
That's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, there you go.
You,
Can I ask a question though? Like,
for
is
sure.
it your all the time voice, or do you feel like you turn it on and can turn it off?
Most of the time, it's my all the time voice.
Hmm.
My voice definitely fluctuates when I'm talking to my kids. I mean, depending on what they're doing, but I have my she just turned 7, my little 7-year-old, and I talk to her in a completely different voice sometimes,
Yeah.
my little princess, or whatever. But yeah, this is my normal speaking voice. And then everyone says, like, has told me, oh, well, like, when you get on the mic, you sound a little different. And I might, but it's just me. It could be just the EQ settings too. But
Mm.
it's also one of those things for me. Like, I've been doing this so long, like literally once I get a microphone in my face, it's like showtime.
Mhm.
Like, cameras on the stage, everything's happening. But with the voice stuff, I mean, I've done a lot of different things throughout my career with my voice. So knowing how to work it and do different things with it has definitely been interesting too.
And he's
So,
like legit, like really good on the microphone. Gosh, I've probably shot 5 or 6 events with you.
oh, at least if not more.
Yeah, I mean, like for you,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
right?
yeah, for me, yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't have it prepped. We cut together a promo video for you that captured some of the wedding side at least.
Hmm.
But we also did the NACE experience last year, and that was a massive AV setup.
Oh
Like we
yeah.
did the stage, the lights, lasers,
My gosh.
massive projector. I
Yeah.
mean, massive projector.
Yeah.
That was like what, 20, 30 feet or
Oh,
something?
that was at the at
At
4 Mile.
4 Mile,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that wasn't a projector screen. That was a full LED wall.
Ah,
Yes,
yeah.
so that was a full video wall.
That was a first for I had never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And he was playing the music videos the whole time. So
Hmm.
like he'd play like an old Ludacris song,
Yep.
and it was like Luda
Oh
was
yeah,
there.
I was out there. Yep.
It was cool.
Yeah, no, that was a really good experience. I brought out the light tubes and everything, and
Yeah,
had some lasers going, and Jared was there doing violin too,
yeah,
and
that's right.
yeah, that was a really really cool experience just to be able to kind of showcase. Because the big thing with that is that was for all of NACE, and
Right.
so we were basically representing Denver to the entire NACE
Yeah,
community as
Wow.
far as across the country.
yeah. So
So I was like,
Nace
it
National
has
came
to
to
be big.
town.
It has to be on point. And
Yeah,
yeah, it was good.
and we were talking earlier before about sort of like all the different associations and ROI on that and stuff. And it's funny because so so I was there shooting as a sponsorship for Nace National,
Hmm.
but I was like, well, Michael, I'll get some footage for you, and we ended up chopping that up into a corporate reel for you.
Yeah.
Um, that's one of those things where like, for like a year, I was like, yeah, that was a waste of time. Obviously I got the footage for you, but I'm like,
Yeah.
Mm.
that was such a waste of time. And then literally Karen texted me 2 days ago, hey, I have a member from Nace National that needs headshots, you
Hey,
know, next week or something.
There
finally
you
came back
go.
around.
And I'm like, that's why I always say you can't go to these groups for a month or 2 months or 3 months. I've been at some of these groups for 5 years
Hmm.
and I'm just now starting to see like, some work come from it. So I always, Eric had a lot of really great quotes on this, but you got to just go just to go and you make
Hmm.
those connections and not really worry about it. And
Mhm.
then it'll come around when you least expect it.
Fair enough.
Like I swear
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
like in the
Yeah.
universe. Well, I'll think about somebody. I'll be like, well, I can't. I won't say their name. It's anonymous. But I'm like that. Like I have done so much for that person, and then like literally the next week they're like, "Hey, are you available for this?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's almost like they
There
heard my
we go.
Yeah.
complaint through the ether in the
I have some
cosmos.
of that aura.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think there's obviously times in all industries we're approached about joining different groups and things like that. And um, I have kind of a love-hate relationship when it comes with networking events and networking groups and things like that. Mostly because sometimes, I've been approached on ones where they're like, oh, join and you have to provide like leads and things like that.
Mhm.
And sometimes if there's like a requirement on providing a lead, it doesn't feel as genuine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really go anywhere. And then I'm like just frustrated by the whole situation. For me, the groups that I've joined where I've gotten more out of it has really been education and relationship based more than leads. Um, but yeah, it's interesting sometimes how there's so many for us to join or to be part of too, that it also is just a huge time commitment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
The amount of time that we're spending going to these events, taking away from all our other responsibilities.
But you went and checked out Venue Hub.
I did, and I
Yeah,
I
shout out Venue Hub.
absolutely fell in love with Venue Hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was so great. I happened to go on a time that they were just doing kind of an open forum, and kind of like what you mentioned, it's what is everybody experiencing now? What are we seeing as far as trends? And there was another person there that actually, you know, I think was in such a similar situation to myself. She asked all the questions that I was dying to ask, so that I wasn't sure I was gonna to be able to have the chance to. So, she's just kind of opening up her space and was asking about marketing and what she should be doing and who she should be
Yeah.
connecting with. And so immediately it was just this sense of I'm in the right place. I'm talking to the right people. I'm making the right connections. This is truly valuable
Mhm.
for me to be part of and an organization to be connected to. So
Yeah, and like we were talking, and it's almost like you kind of have to go in and feel it out and see, is there kind of like a space, is there a demand for me and my services
Mhm.
in this association? And I had a really sweet gig going with Venue Hub because um, before there was Vendor Hub, it was just me and like 40 venue owners in a room, and
mhm,
I would. Dawn always offered to pay me. She's like, "Here, can I pay you something?" I said, "Absolutely not." I said, there's no way for me to meet all these people, and she has literally opened so many doors for
yeah,
me that are um, continual clients that come back month after month. Now obviously she can open the door, you still have to walk through it
yeah,
and you still have to execute and retain those clients. However, uh, that was really nice because now I go there and there's a lot of photographers and videographers, which is fine. I got love for all of them. But like I'm like, oh, I got a sweet thing going there for
for
like a
just a
year.
bit. Yeah,
But shout out to Dawn, yeah, because she was really a big inspiration for this whole thing
yeah,
because I felt like it was needed, and me and Dawn even went back and forth on like the name of it and the tagline and the concept and
yeah,
everything behind it. But ultimately, yeah, it's like a place for to see the real side of vendors,
Mhm.
not like the curated.
yeah.
You both asked me for the questions, and again, I'm like, nope.
I like it.
You don't get to
Put me
see the
on the spot.
questions.
I
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
it. I
I want
like
I
it.
want the real. I crave the authenticity.
He
Yes.
wants the juicy stuff, is what he's trying to say.
I will also just point out too that I think flip side of it, not only the benefit it is that she's created for us within the industry, but since joining, me being able to tell my clients about the fact that they can go to the website and that they
Mm,
can put in all their information about their event, put in a budget, put in if their date's flexible, and that it basically eliminates for that client going individually and doing a Google search, what venues are in Golden, what venues are in Denver, things like that. Um, is just a game changer. I mean, that's something that people appreciate so much when you can mainstream something for them. You can make it easier for them. You can explain how by utilizing this, it's gonna, save you time and a headache and all of that. So I've just heard tremendous feedback ever since learning about it. And then, yeah, when it doesn't work out for my client to work with us, to be able to say, hey, go to Vendor Hub,
yeah.
put in this information, see who else, and then immediately I see the inquiry come through and I'm seeing people actually do it. So again, huge applause to her for just creating that for our clients because I think that was needed and is very much appreciated.
You wish you had it when you're in the corporate world, huh?
100% I wish I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have made things so much easier. So
And
much
it's
easier.
hard with like all these websites because you know that it's very pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mhm.
fact, that's why we left the website, which I shall not name,
Mm-hmm.
is because we had like 125 reviews on there, and they were putting businesses with 5 reviews that are 50 miles farther away from the searcher
Mm-hmm.
because they paid for the
Yep.
spotlight ad.
At the
Okay,
top.
hint,
Yep.
hint. But like, yeah, that just I was like, no, we've been literally driving traffic here for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
collecting reviews on here, and now since we have the silver package, we're getting demoted. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
Come on.
Come on,
Yeah.
it's not right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I definitely hear that. And that's excuse me, that's also why I haven't even gone that route. I thought about it when I was breaking off on my own company, and it was just like, you know, no, because I want to focus more on my venue relationships, my vendor
Mm-hmm.
relationships, the people I've worked with for years that refer me like crazy, client relationships.
Yep.
I mean, literally part of my slogan, let's create memories.
Hmm.
You can't create memories with people that don't know you.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Mhm.
So,
And the venue relationships, the vendors, uh, all those partners are the ones that pay dividends for so long.
mhm,
And, I'm sure you'll lose a few to, a higher paying. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, that's what we've built our entire business on is our network,
mhm.
Mhm.
and we do almost zero digital advertising. Never have, never will.
Yeah.
It's the way Cal did it when I bought the business 8 years ago, and I took that and ran with it, and that's why you see us. We try to be ubiquitous at every single meeting, every association. We're sponsoring things because why not put that money back into the industry,
Yeah.
um, create content, keep our people busy, and you're not giving it to Zuck or somebody else
Right?
Yeah.
that doesn't give a two hoots
Yep,
while they're
fair.
sitting on their yacht. So
Exactly. Don't get the helicopter.
yeah, yeah, stay away from that. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
funny.
so tell me, so what is? We'll start with you, but
Okay.
what is like the most high profile event that you've DJ'd?
Mm.
Oh,
All right, we'll start with you.
yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I've done some very high profile things. Some things that I haven't even been able to post about until afterwards.
Mm.
Most recently, um, he used to play for the Broncos, Justin Simmons.
Mm.
He's now a free agent. He just left the Falcons. He did a 4th of July party up in
Nice.
Vale.
Where was my invite, dude? Come on.
Literally 15 people, which was his family, and I actually got that through a vendor referral.
Nice.
So I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
And so doing that, I've done Super Bowl parties, I've done World Series parties. When Major League Baseball had All-Star Week in Denver and in Los Angeles,
Mhm.
I DJ'd for both of those. This season, I kicked off my 11th season DJing for the Denver Broncos and for Bud Light. So I do the
The Bud Light tailgate?
the tailgate
Yeah.
parties. So I've been
Oh,
doing those for
fun.
11 seasons, which, when I got, because I get told if I get it basically right before the season starts. When I got it last season, I was like, wow, 10 years, like unbelievable. Like for anybody to do anything in this industry at
Yep.
at
Yeah.
Yeah.
that level
Yeah.
for that long is pretty crazy. And then when it was okay, 11th season, it's like I feel so incredibly grateful. Like with all the stuff I've been able to do. I mean, high profile stuff too would be like I've DJ'd music festivals in Mexico, done country music festivals and classic rock festivals.
Nice.
Um, wedding wise, I've done Denver Bronco cheerleaders weddings. I've done like Harlem Globetrotter player weddings. I mean, I've done literally everything across the board.
That's fun.
So
That's awesome.
it's been a lot of fun, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Sometimes you just got to pinch yourself. You're like, wow,
Yeah, so I
people are
really
paying
can't
me for
say like
this.
the like highest profile thing because I've done so many
Yeah.
different
But
things.
next time you need an assistant,
Yes,
Yeah.
you
You can
can be
call
and
my
I
us.
can shoot,
roadie.
I can shoot some video for you. I work for food,
Yeah,
and
fair, fair.
so.
Yeah.
What about you? What sticks out as kind of the most high profile thing that you've been a part of?
For me, honestly, I don't know that I necessarily have anything that's high profile. I think I've been really excited at my chances, my opportunities that I had to work on really large scale events. And so for me, doing, kind of these like off-site weekend conferences where, I've worked with law firms that brought in like 700 lawyers and then did kind of multiple things throughout their time in Denver, some of it. Sorry, that's
Jared, run.
they're coming for you. Um whether it's handling the logistics of like their breakout meetings and then finding things for them to do socially and then handling the evening events with dinner and entertainment and things like that. I think anything that's of like a really grand scale kind of always takes my breath away that I get that opportunity to be part of something like that and sticks out in my memory. But I also have to say that I can never in all of those experiences never take credit as being the only one. It really
Right.
does take a team of people
Yeah.
coming together to put on
The
events
whole
like that.
village.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think we all work so hard to make each other
Yeah.
look good. So that's great. But yeah, I don't know that I have anybody that I necessarily can think of that I would like classify as like famous or high profile. Not that's coming to mind. I
I
don't know.
just
What about you? Do you have a client that you felt?
Uh, we shot Philip Lindsay's wedding.
Oh,
That was pretty cool.
congratulations on that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Shout out to Ivory Events. Referred us on that one.
yeah.
That was pretty cool. And then last year, September last year, we covered EY. You guys probably don't know what EY is there, but they're the largest financial services company in the world.
Oh
They
wow.
were they were talking about going from 50 billion to 100 billion. That was their goal. And we did 10 photo booths at the same time. We collaborated with My High on that one.
Wow.
So 10 of our photographers, My High supplied the tablets, the printers, some of the backdrops. We kind of collaborated on that. But we did the event coverage, and then we also did those activations. 10 booths at one time. I'm not even kidding you. Every single booth had a line. I was like, this is overkill, but it was not. It was a 2,000 person conference, and it was cool. But
That's
like,
insane.
you know what they say about like, I hate the word luxury, but like higher end clients like that,
Mm-hmm.
they never complained once. They
No.
never,
Mm-hmm.
they literally were like just the most appreciative clients, very easy to work with.
You know what I love about those clients? They expect things a certain way. They expect delivery a certain way.
Mhm.
And as long as you're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
which you wouldn't be in front of them if you weren't in the first place,
Yeah.
Right.
but
Yeah.
as long as you're doing that, they are the happiest, most easiest clients to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were great. I would work for them 10 out of 10 times again. Um, but you said something really interesting. So, as a from the planner side at
Mm-hmm.
least, and even the venue, I think you said you don't have a preferred list here, right?
No, we don't do a preferred
Right.
vendors
Well,
list.
we'll get you one. We'll
Okay.
get you one. I'm just kidding. But like, even if you don't have like an official published like on your website vendor list, you still have like your Rolodex in the back of your head, right? So like,
100%. I mean, what I always tell people is this is that I want my clients to not feel like they're pressured into anything. However, as soon as people sign that contract with me, or sometimes even before, they will say, who do you know
mhm,
in this space? Who do you know that can create content or a caterer or a photo booth or things like that? And I always tell them, listen, I've been in the industry for a long time. I know a ton of great people. I am more than happy to do and I think what makes me stand apart is I do these warm intros. I don't just give a list or say go to our website and
yeah,
see. I really do connect the client and the person that I think would be a good fit and do that first introduction email explaining what the client's event is, as well as why I think this vendor is going to stand out and what they can offer. And right there, again, it's so many things that benefit in doing it that way. It eliminates putting it on the client that they have to take it upon themselves to reach out. It also, I hope, reinforces the fact that, I have a personal relationship to some degree with these vendors that we've either worked with them before or if we haven't had the opportunity yet to work, we're so excited at the opportunity. We've heard great things about what they're doing and we want to build a relationship and things like that. So it's not that we don't have referrals or relationships. We absolutely do. And I want to tell everybody that's listening that has a business, there's nothing more that I love than learning about new companies that are out there or older companies that are out there that are just doing great things. I want to learn about your business. I love selling your stuff to
mhm,
my clients. I just don't like, again, personal experience, preferred vendors list.
yeah,
A venue that I got married at, which I will not name, had a preferred vendors list. And so we were forced to use a caterer, and that caterer brought the wrong food to our wedding. And that has always stuck out to me as
yeah,
just as soon as somebody says preferred vendors list, I'm like, wrong food at the wedding. So,
yeah,
and for that reason, like I said, I just, and I think sometimes it really limits you as a business if you do that too, from making great new connections. When somebody branches off and is building their business up,
yeah,
the struggle that they have trying to get in with people and saying, oh my God, I've got this great product, I've got this great service, but they have a preferred vendors list and I'm never going to break through. Like that to me
yeah.
is disheartening for our industry that it almost creates a barrier or an obstacle instead of, allowing people that opportunity to make new connections. So that's a little bit of my
I
soapbox
like
on,
that perspective.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a unique perspective that I really like. So, um, even if you don't have a list or something, right, per se, What is it about vendors that you like or what would make you for someone who is like trying to get on, a list or
Mhm.
something, trying to get in with a planner? What is it about vendors that like makes you make that decision? Is it their personality? Is it all merit based? Is it their work, their price? Like what is it about vendors that you're like, "Ooh, I really want to work with that person." Is it their vibe, their
Yeah.
personality?
Well, let me go back to something that I think you were just touching on, and it's so simple. It is people that follow through with what they say they're going to do. And it sounds so crazy that that's as simple as it is, but there's so many people out there, and I don't want to be judgy. I know we all get busy and sidetracked and forget to respond to something, and it happens, but I think you can kind of tell when it's a sense of that slightly slipped through the crack, or oh, this is how you do
Yeah,
business,
yeah, there's a big difference
yeah,
there.
they overpromise and things like that. Or some businesses, bless their heart, I think struggle really hard with the fact that um they're focused so much on perception of their company
Yeah.
versus what they're really able to
Right.
give and deliver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I struggle sometimes, and I'm a little bit like hands off on that. If I feel like you're focused so much on how you're marketing it, and then I've gone to an event and I've seen you and I've been honestly
Sucker.
disappointed, then I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I don't want to put a client in that position. I always
Yeah.
say, under promise, over deliver.
Mhm.
And again, follow up, even if it's just to tell a client, hey, I acknowledge I saw this. I'm going to get back to you. Please be patient with me. I mean, it's such simple things that we've all been taught, that I think for me, I just try and keep front of mind. I try and give that advice to the people that we work with. Like, yeah, if I'm going to connect you with this client, please do yourself a favor and
Oh, yeah.
and you know follow up with it, even if it doesn't end up working out. Like, I
Well,
get it.
adding on to that, the biggest thing that I've really come to learn in this business, especially when you base your business off of referrals or, excuse me, word of mouth, that kind of thing, when you are literally, per se, I mean, since this is an industry thing, I can say this, when you are literally handed somebody on a
Mhm.
silver platter,
Mm,
there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's a reason because one, it's not only your name on the line,
Hmm.
it's also the person that referred you.
100%.
It's their name on the line
Yep.
too, which holds you at a much
Agreed.
higher standard, a much higher standard,
Yeah.
because there is no margin for error.
No.
There is no room for error. So you have plan A, B, and C ready to go in case, oh crap, hits the fan.
Yeah.
So it's just a whole different level of standard, and it's something that I love.
Yeah.
I thrive in.
I agree, and that's why I would, present the counter argument to yours as far as the preferred list goes. Is that so? We're on over 40 different venues preferred list, for whatever that's worth, right? But like what he said, the accountability factor. Like if we get referred,
Hmm.
like you don't. There's venues that we have been on the list for over 15 years before I bought the company, right?
Hmm.
So I had like this standard to uphold, but it creates an accountability factor because you don't stay on a list if you start screwing up,
Oh, yeah.
right? And
Exactly.
same with planners, like
Exactly.
and DMCs is uh, if I get referred to a client and we go to shoot that event, the caterer is going to be asking for those images, the DJ is going to be asking for those images, the venue is going to be asking, everyone's going to be asking, can I get these? Can I use them for marketing? So it's like we not only have an obligation to the client, we have an obligation to all the other vendors
Yep.
Mhm.
to make sure that these photos are like tip top. And so I think that it creates kind of an accountability factor within our industry. But I see what you're saying completely because there's some people I'm like, how are you still on the list? I have been at like 6 events this year where you screwed up.
Yeah.
Like what? How much are you paying them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's and you're
Like
just
it's
like,
wild.
wait a
But I,
minute.
I think and that goes back to a little bit about kind of what we were talking about with some of the venue websites and things like that. It's like I just question, are there kind of behind the scenes deals of
Right.
I paid to be on this list, or why are they on it? How did they get on it? Is this just a friend of somebody's? I don't know. So again, nothing against all preferred vendors lists. I get it. I get how some can be extremely helpful and it's fine. We just thought since the opening, we're like, we're gonna run with it this way. We're gonna see how it goes. Um, But yeah,
Well, I think
I
that the
see
venue
both
should
sides of
be.
it.
I think the venue should be upfront about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like this is a paid list,
yeah,
Hmm.
or they get X amount. We get a
kickback or yeah.
percentage
Yeah.
or whatever.
Hmm.
However, they have been on our list for 10 years and never gotten a bad review.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the client should know if the because I think too for a venue, and I've spoken a lot about this, but I think for a venue, it does make sense for them to take some sort of kickback from their preferred vendor list because number one, you have date inventory. You can't produce more dates.
Hmm.
So you may as well
Hmm.
maximize your profitability on each
Absolutely.
date. And oh, in the meantime, I get to work with all my favorite vendors that I know are going to do a good job, which creates less chaos and havoc during the event, gets you more good reviews. And, so there's a lot of pluses, but there's also a lot of like, there's one, I'm not going to go there. There's one vendor in particular where I'm like,
We're just gonna bleep this part out.
how? Like, how
Yeah,
are you there? And then the other thing is, if the preferred list becomes too big,
Hmm.
it's like, what are you doing?
yeah,
Like, you might as well just be the website which we will not name.
yeah.
Well, and that's the biggest thing for me too is that um, when I am talking or like I'm playing at a venue that I haven't necessarily played at before, whatever, which is comes very very rare, but it happens. The biggest compliment is saying, "Hey, we would like to add you to our preferred vendor list after I
Yeah.
get done playing." And I'm like, "Cool. How many other DJs do you have on your preferred vendor list?"
Right.
Yeah,
Because if I'm number 10,
Right.
it makes no difference if I'm on there or not
right.
because I'm not going to go through. I mean,
Yeah. Or
clients
they're
aren't
like,
going to go through
do
all
you
that.
want to do Venmo? Check. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I thought you were getting up on that list a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, and I guess the other thing that I think sometimes gets blurred is, at times I think people talk about a preferred vendors list as far as these are just recommendations almost, like these
Hmm.
are our preferred people.
Yeah.
Again, going back to my experience with the venue that I got married at, the preferred vendors list was you had to choose from
Yeah.
that. So I think
I don't
again
like that.
that definition of what is a preferred vendors list. So when I say that we're against it, what I'm against is narrowing people in saying we only will allow you to work
Yeah.
with this. That is pretty much where we take a hard stance on it. Getting to the point of, yeah, well, does it make sense to maybe have kind of some go-to people that we use that terminology preferred list? Maybe
Yeah.
it's just retraining my brain a little bit and getting rid of what I'm thinking it is and accepting that it can mean something different. But yeah, I always just refer to it as, I'm happy to do referrals or to give you support
Yeah.
or to help you, in selecting things or again, doing introductions. So I
Yeah.
feel like to some extent I am doing it. I'm just not calling it that.
Well, the biggest thing too that I've learned over the years with clients is they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And, some people that have never been in this industry or never,
Hmm.
put on an event or something like that, they're like a fork in the road turns into 10 forks in the road and they are just get overwhelmed so easily.
Yeah.
So when you have someone that is like, hey, let me guide you in a
Yep.
couple, to get different directions, give you some pros and cons about things. And that's what I always try to do with clients too, is give them pros and cons on whatever decisions they're going to make. Cool. You don't want to go with me? That's fine,
Hmm.
but let me give you some advice for moving forward. I tell clients all the time, well, we're not sure which way we're going to go yet. Like, just so you know, for 26, people are booking like crazy.
Hmm.
So sitting on it is not
Yeah.
advantageous for you.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right. I think for all of us in this industry, educating our clients
Mhm.
is so incredibly important. I think that there's a percentage of clients we work with that are in the industry with us, your planners and people that are familiar with it. But when you do have those interactions with people that it's one-offs, it's weddings, it's special anniversaries or birthdays or celebrations or things like that. Um, yeah, that's been my experience at how extremely grateful they are for that additional kind of guidance and support.
That's that relationship piece
Yeah.
that I love.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
And it feels good to help them get to that
Mhm.
point and feel more comfortable because at the end of the day, it is overwhelming. It's amazing to me always. I get one of two reactions when I was in event planning. Either I get people that go, "Oh my God, that sounds so much fun. You must just party all the time. I want to do what you do." Or I get people that go, "Oh my God, the idea of planning stuff all day long, like drives me crazy. You must,
Shoot me now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the worst thing ever." So either people are so drawn to the idea of what they think it is, which is a lot of times wrong, or they're so terrified by it. And I think that sometimes it's important for us in this industry to remember that that fear and that anxiety when it comes to events is very real for a lot of people. Even some of the clients that you were talking about that are corporate, it's like it's a lot of pressure on from CEOs or executives to produce an event. And sometimes that's on top of a completely different job responsibility that they have.
Most times,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, really, when I started in the workforce, I kind of started in administrative work, and the amount of admins that are doing event planning blows my mind. I mean, and I think it's really unfortunate that companies do that
Yeah.
because they don't want to spend the time or the resource or the money on hiring an event professional. They'll go, oh, we only have a couple events a year, it's fine. You know, Sue at the front desk loves doing it. She
Yeah.
throws her kids birthday parties. I mean, that was always the thing that killed me. I was like,
The barbecuing, right?
yeah,
She got to be able to do a gala. Come on now.
Easy.
easy. It's totally easy. So,
How hard could it be?
yeah, these are just
And by the way,
challenges.
she can live stream it too, right?
Exactly.
She
Exactly.
can handle all social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy. No,
So,
I completely agree. I think the one area where it really makes sense is for like DMCs because you have an outside group,
mhm,
doesn't know the area,
yeah.
doesn't know the layout, the ecosystem locally, and so that's where we've made a lot of headway. Is like when they need somebody reliable
Yeah.
that they can trust, that's where we come in. And I think as far as finding a photo video team, it's kind of hard to do. Like there's a lot of single photographers, videographers, very easy to find there. Literally throw a rock out the window, you probably hit one. But like someone who has availability all the time that has a team that's been this is our 26th year as well as a
Mhm.
company. Um,
Feels good, doesn't it?
yeah, I've been doing it full time for 12, owned the business for 8, but like that's a long track record and we've never changed our name, we've never done any of that rebranding, anything like that. So I think that says a lot.
Mhm.
And the
I
fact
agree.
that you've been full time for 26
Yeah.
years, I mean, that alone says a lot. Like you
So
must be pretty damn good at it.
Yeah.
here's how in depth this goes. So when everything was shut down during COVID, I was still DJing.
Mm.
I literally was going and doing block parties
Hmm.
and running off of a generator, and people would literally come outside on their driveways
Love this.
and pay me in tips.
That's awesome.
I would, when they set up for
Is that how you bought the ring? Little
oh,
tip
come
money?
on now.
Let's go.
When they set up and did like alcohol service
Yeah.
for restaurants where they would do like delivery service or drive through service, I would literally be live streaming on Facebook while I was DJing and during the workday, and people would be listening to me. I would get messages all the time. Hey, here's $1 for PayPal or whatever. It's not much, but we really appreciate it. Well,
Mhm.
you have hundreds of people watching you
Yeah.
during COVID trying to escape the craziness that's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, I was still DJing full time during COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes a lot,
I think it
but I
takes a
love it.
lot. And I also have to say, I'm always just impressed by our industry. Maybe it's because even without something like a pandemic, we're constantly put in situations where we have to problem solve,
A
where we
hundred
have
percent.
to get creative, we have to have solutions. So just it always inspires me hearing so many different people in the industry what they did through COVID and how they actually made it work or
Mhm,
even developed a new aspect of their
mhm.
business or went a different
Totally.
direction.
Reinvented.
Re
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But
100%.
again, I think it goes back to what it takes to be in this industry
Hmm.
is
Yep.
that those are challenges that we face, not again on the grand scheme of the pandemic level, but constantly.
Hmm.
And most of the time our clients don't ever know it. And
And that's the number
They
one thing
never
right
know.
right.
Yeah.
there. Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't see the behind the scenes
No.
stuff. They see just the finished product. They don't see why we lost our hair to begin with.
Right.
They see the finished product. So I absolutely 100% agree on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love people's creativity
Hmm.
and innovativeness and just, yeah, that desire. I would have loved to have partied on my driveway with you. I wish
You know,
I would have gone to one of those parties.
the crazy part was, and the part that was probably most fulfilling for me was seeing all the little kids
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
and just being on their, whether they were riding around on their
Yeah.
scooters or playing hula hoops or, whatever, but just having the time of their lives for like 2 hours.
Hmm.
before they had to go back in and
Mhm.
be completely shut off from the world.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm letting you escape your reality, even how young you are,
Mhm.
escape your reality of all the craziness going on right now and just enjoy your life, just dance, just take in the music.
Mhm.
That's why I do what I do.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's a blessing of being an event venue space is that every time the event is happening, even our more somber events, even our celebration of lives have been so incredibly impactful to be in a room listening to people talk about a loved one, sharing stories, um, m- grieving together and laughing together and all of that, and knowing my job is to manage this, to make this happen, to
Yeah.
give you that space to be able to do that. Yeah, it's truly one of the best parts of, I think, of our job is seeing that side of it, that connection, that community, all of that. Yeah, makes it all worthwhile.
Fills the soul.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful. So I was mowing lawns in COVID. My buddy had a landscaping business, and
Yeah.
we went from doing like 3, 4 live streams a year. We started doing 20, and that's where we really got pretty good at the live
Hmm.
streaming thing. Um, so yeah, I think you just got to pivot, and then you got to keep doing what you're doing. Um, where do you draw your strength from? Like, what is?
Yeah, for me, over the years, it's really been about creating good boundaries. This is an industry that's really easy to get so consumed in, and it takes so much from you.
Chew you up and
Yeah,
spit you out.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a grinder.
And if you can't create those boundaries, so for me, my strength comes from as easy as it would be to work 24/7 and to keep it going is
Easy?
yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I have some of that? That'd
Yeah.
Yeah,
be
yeah. Give me some.
great.
But to break away and to have meaningful time with friends and family and things like that, that's ultimately what gives me strength. I think what else gives me strength is just having a good network of other people to lean on, to ask questions to know that, you know, right now our team here at Creative Littleton is small. Um, but I know that there's people outside of the that can still jump in and help me and will be there for me and things like that. So I think it's two part for me. It's boundaries and it's networking. To me, that's where I'm getting my strength to continue on day to day. I don't know. Ask me in another 5 years. It might be totally different. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you're giving somebody else strength, through the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, my I would agree as far as just like the collaborative the strength goes because I am part of a DJ networking group that we all kind of rely on each other. Like
Mhm.
if things go wrong, I mean, whether it be like say, hey, I'm doing a double that day, timing was great, and then one of the events changed their timing, so I'm having to lean on somebody else to kind of help me out.
Mhm.
So having those people be there is definitely a big help as far as balancing everything goes. But honestly, when I'm not working, like actually doing an event, I have my business hours. My business hours are from say 10 or noon or whatever they happen to be that day
Mhm.
until 5. And then when I'm not doing an event after 5, emails on, you can
Do you
contact me
put
the
that in
next day.
Google, like whatever time?
You know, I should probably, but no, my actual on my Google it says I'm open 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
Right.
No,
so
but
you're
it's
opening the door for
oh yeah.
abuse,
Oh yeah.
abuse there. Yeah,
You know, it's one of those things that I've found too that if I'm constantly responding and replying or whatever
Yeah.
to clients,
Mhm.
they expect that.
you're enabling them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Exactly. They
Mhm.
that's true.
expect that. So
Yeah.
they expect me to respond to an email
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that's not going to happen.
I used to tell Brittany that. I was like, you got to stop replying at 11 p.m.
Hmm.
because they're gonna think that that's like acceptable and normal.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, even during busy season, when I'm on events, I like once my week starts with events where I have, say, 4 to 5 events, in a row, my autoresponder goes on where, hey, I'm on events every single day for the next week.
Yeah.
It may take me 3 to 4 business days to respond to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your event isn't within,
I forget to do my
yeah,
autoresponder.
if your event isn't within like the next
I've
week,
been there. Yeah.
I'm talking to you
Yeah.
later. Like my focus isn't on you. My focus is on what's happening right now.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, you want to book me next September? Okay, cool. I'll get back to you next week.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
it's the middle of busy season. Like,
Speaking
Yeah.
of
yeah.
September,
You got something
so
going on?
no,
No,
just
you mentioned that it was
yeah.
like the craziest time for all of us.
Yeah.
How'd you fare?
September? Do you want me to pull up the numbers?
Well,
Jared, do you have the numbers on you? I don't,
I was saying
it was
numbers
good. It was good.
necessarily.
It was
You're still here, so I mean, that's a good thing.
well, let's pull it up. It was good. It was I mean, it's not over yet. I guess I consider this next weekend to also be
Part of it.
September as well.
Yeah.
But so September we did 36 events. So on average, yeah, a little over one a day. The hardest part for September for me personally is so we have different delivery times on everything that we do. So we're 90 days for wedding videos, we're 30 days for corporate videos, 2 weeks for wedding photo galleries, and 1 week for corporate photo galleries. And the problem is I'm delivering wedding videos from June. I'm delivering corporate videos from, last month,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm delivering, all these galleries from this month. And they kind of all just align, they all kind of fall on the same date, just by chance kind of.
Yeah.
And so we're delivering stuff, we're planning for future events, and we're crushing the events. But one big change for me at least has been that I stepped back from shooting. Last year I personally shot 185 events, and I I told my wife, I said, I cannot, this is not sustainable, I can't do this. um, and so I've empowered other people, I've entrusted other people, Matt, Jared, the rest of our team, to go out and create. And the thing about it is, like, I'm a little bit of a control freak. This business is my baby, and but like, the question I had to ask myself is, if I go out and shoot it burned out,
Mm-hmm.
is that better than one of my team members
How
who
effective it can
shows
be.
up with
Yeah.
a great attitude?
Mm-hmm.
And our five core values are: everyone on my team is friendly, flexible, reliable, they communicate, and they collaborate. Every single person on our team checks all those boxes, and they are amazing. They'll even say about each other, like, that was a dream team. I love this person. I want to work with them again. And that's how I know
Hmm.
that we have a really good team. So that has been a huge step for me to be more just on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
I can still be heavily involved in the company from afar, but I'm not in the weeds on site. Like, even coming to this is it's a chore. It's like, I leave my house at 2, we set up at 4, we shoot at 6, breaking down at 8. I'm not home till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's an 8-hour day
Yeah.
just for this little 2-hour window. So I hope you guys appreciate it. Seriously. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But like, that's the biggest thing for me is, like, I guess you can't work on high level stuff if you're constantly busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It's literally impossible.
Yeah. No, there's not enough hours in the day. It's not. But it is hard because I relate with what you're saying on just wanting to be involved, wanting to have your hands
Yeah, I
in
get
it and
jealous.
things like
I
that.
get jealous. These
Right?
guys are out here, creating amazing photos and videos, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm sitting here,
Yeah.
but I do it for my kids.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
Well, that makes
Absolutely.
sense. 100%.
So was September busy for you guys?
It wasn't a bad month for us. I'm shocked at October. October is going to be slammed for us.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple of wedding type stuff. We have some fun birthday parties, some 1-year-old parties. I mean, just kind of a variety of different events. And I really didn't expect that for October. You know, but that's what we're all about, is trying to adapt and be ready for anything. I think for us, we were also shocked. We were crazy busy in May for graduation parties. I go back to thinking, and I know it's been a little bit from when I graduated, but all of us graduated and partied in someone's backyard. Like,
Right? Yes.
nobody was renting an event space. So the fact that we were like fully booked, like just constantly in May really, really surprised me. So yeah, and then I think, we're prepping up and getting ready for December and January with those holiday and end of year parties and things like that. So I'm trying to catch my breath when I can and take advantage of when I do have a little bit more time, but it's always something.
Yeah.
It almost sometimes kind of reminds me of, again, going back to working in like retail and in high school and things like that. You're always putting out the next season's clothes. This industry, you're always planning for the future. It's so hard sometimes to be in the moment or to be able to appreciate what's currently going
Right.
on, the events that you currently have, because our industry does focus so much on prepping for the future and things like that. But yeah, can't complain about
So were
September.
you here like for the opening, the design and stuff like that, or did they design everything and bring
Oh,
you on?
yeah. So the story of Creative Littleton is that um, here in downtown Littleton, they purchased the building. They went through a 3-year renovation.
Well,
Um,
Wow.
Heads up for anybody looking to renovate a historic building. It is quite the process.
sounds
You have
like
to you have to source your materials. I did not know this from the time the building was built. So if we needed like more bricks, for example, or something like that, we had to source it from like 1921. It's
what?
like it's crazy. I don't know. And maybe some of this was told to me and I just bought it hook, line, and sinker, but that's what was told to me.
Let's go with
Yeah.
it.
I was like, okay.
From 1920s.
Yeah, but I know that there's challenges and there's
That's
certain like
wild.
things that you have to do to keep the building historic, and so I know that that was part of the process and what took it so long. Um, but the truth of the matter is, Amy, our owner, is an interior designer. She does design build stuff, and she has another business, and during COVID, she turned 50 and she was looking for a space to host. We were kind of coming out of COVID. So it was during that time where you could do something, but you had to rent a private space. And she lives kind of in this South Denver metro area, and there just wasn't a lot of event spaces. And so, again, it's how interesting how certain people fall into businesses. They bought the space, they renovated it. And then I just always applaud her. It was so smart to fully curate it with the art and the furniture because
Yeah.
she's highlighting her style for her design business as well. And so, again, people are always pleasantly surprised to find out you can actually purchase the art that's in here. You can purchase the furniture that's in here. If you just absolutely love the vibe and the style, again, you can hire Amy to go out and to do design build stuff for you, residential or commercial. So it was a really smart collaboration on her part. And they
The
opened.
pieces in here are insane.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
so good.
Yeah, it's really fun. Like I said, I could not. I have a great skill set when it comes to my event planning skills. Design, I could never do anything close to this. So it's fun to work with somebody that has that skill set and that talent.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they opened in August of 2024, and I think she was kind of running it on her own, and then wasn't expecting the kind of organic growth that was happening.
Yeah.
Our paths had crossed in May before her business opened. And so I kind of knew that her event space was going to be opening, and I was in a position at a different location doing more community based events and things like that. And so I just happened to reach out in January of this year and we connected, and she said, "Yeah, things are going really great. I'd love to see if it works out to bring you on." And I've been working with them since February. So wasn't here for those first couple months and things like that, but she did great. We've had return clients, we've had people that, yeah, hosted that can't wait to host with us again, and it's just really exciting to see.
That's great.
Yeah.
And they're good to work for.
Oh my God. I have the best. Yeah, the best.
Is it Baxter? Is that
Baxter
what
and
Baxter?
Amy,
Yeah.
yeah, are the owners. And again, they just have really supported and encouraged me and allowed me to come in and have such a leadership role here and to be creative in every aspect of the business, how we interact with clients, the services that we're able to provide, the way in which we're marketing, the community events that we're part of, and things like that. So, yeah, I'm just keep keep trying to learn and grow and figure out how we can make it better and
Yeah,
better
that's
year
right.
after year.
I love it.
So one thing, I we were at the PCMA golf tournament, shout out PCMA, yesterday, and it seemed like all the conversation was like, "Well, how was your year? How was your year?" And
Mhm.
it always shifts immediately to the financials. Well, we're a little down from last year. And it's like, they're talking
Mhm.
financials, And I think that there's so much more to businesses than your gross sales. Like I think there's so much more as far as that goes. So, what is one area of growth, and it can be either professionally or personally, that doesn't necessarily show up on the bottom line necessarily, let's say, but something that you feel like this year you have really grown into that makes you a better person or business or whatever.
I literally just got done doing a interview for a magazine article, and they asked the exact same question, and I wholeheartedly believe in this. So my business, I branched out and opened my own thing about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, and everything's going great so far. But I'm not like focusing on per se marketing or advertising and throwing the money out the window that way. I'm focusing on what's kept me going for all these years, and that's relationships.
Mhm.
And even though, just like we talked, like Vendor Hub or any of the other relationships, you may not see it right away,
Hmm.
you will see it at some point.
Mhm.
So whether it's with venues, whether it's with vendors or, planners or clients that are repeat clients, it's cultivating those relationships. And also when people say, "Hey, could you help me out here?" Whether it be another vendor or another DJ or whatever,
Hmm.
I'm doing that just to because it's being a good person.
Yeah.
It's being a good vendor, being someone that someone can rely on
Yeah.
for anything. It's building those relationships that are going to come back to me. It's like karma. It's like, come back to you tenfold when you need it.
Yeah, and I feel like trust is the one commodity that can't be bought or sold, and it takes a
No,
long time to establish,
Yeah.
a
Takes
hundred
it takes a
percent.
long time to establish and it takes very
Very
little time to screw it up.
Yeah.
exactly.
What about you?
Yeah. Man, I guess for me, I think about kind of, I don't know that I would call it a quote, but a phrase that I do enjoy, which is just grow through what you go through.
Mm,
Hmm.
Um, and so for me, my growth has really just been from just putting one foot in front of the next this entire year. And if it's something that's new and different or something, yeah, that I'm just like, oh my gosh, well, I've never really done this before. I think allowing myself just to not stop or hesitate but just actually going through it is where I'm seeing the most personal growth. And I would say that that does bleed over also personal and professional.
Hmm.
I think
I
that
agree.
I've tried to be a little bit more accepting to just almost being a yes person a little bit more. um I think that when I
Personally,
yeah
I hope. Okay.
yeah, person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah.
because I think that yeah, no, with business not so much.
He's like, wait a
Yeah, yeah.
minute.
Well, you said yes to this.
Yeah, I did
That's
say
good.
no,
That's
and
good.
I mean, that's like a perfect example. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that that was
Like some
something.
random guy called me up. He wants to be on his podcast. Okay.
Right?
Got something
Um,
going good for you.
but I think that it gives us that opportunity to grow, to make new connections, going back to what you said. I mean, again, connections is just so important. So I'm seeing a lot of growth in that area for me.
Good for you.
Yeah, what about you?
Oh shoot, I wasn't.
All right, thinking you had to answer.
I think honestly, I would say the biggest point of growth for me, and again, this is tied together both professionally and personally, is optimizing my company in a way that suits the lifestyle that I want.
Mhm.
So, my wife and I, since we have a 9 and a 5 year old, and they're at just like this perfect age where we've got an RV that we pull around, and like my happy place is RV in tow, family and the dog in the truck with me cruising down the highway. I don't even care where we're going.
Love
I
it.
literally
Love
don't
it.
care where we're
Love
going.
it.
Yeah.
And so one of my goals for next year, we'll see if it happens, is to take my kids out of school for a year. We're going to homeschool them, and we're gonna see the U.S. We're gonna travel around for a year. But to do that
Yeah.
with a company at the scale that we're at, it requires at least a year of building a foundation in order for that to happen. A lot of that is, um, you know, getting the right team in. It's really all of it. Getting the right team in, empowering them, getting them to a position where they feel comfortable and where I feel comfortable with them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just entrusting them with, again, like I'm not good at anything else. Okay. If this photo video thing doesn't work out, I'm screwed, you guys. I'm gonna be back.
The podcast thing now.
I'm gonna be,
I'm saying.
no, I'll be back on the lawnmower. I swear. Actually, I'm more of a trimmer guy.
There
Trimmer.
you go.
Um, but I've sunk literally everything that I have
Yeah.
into this business,
Yeah.
and when I say that, I genuinely mean that. You know, when I was in my mid 20s, all my friends were buying houses, and you know, going to school, and I paid my own way through school. I bought all digital for $3,000 down, believe it or not.
Wow.
Owner financed by Cal, and I've sunk literally everything that I have into this business.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, failure is not an option. And when I bring someone in, you know, it takes a deep, deep level of trust for me
Mm-hmm.
to hand the reins over for anything, even the
Mhm.
smallest little things.
Yeah.
Because the type of like when you are a company that is based in live events, you know, one of our mantras is like there is no second take.
Yeah.
When that bride comes down that aisle, there is no second take. You can't
Yeah.
say, "Oh, can you actually, you know,
Go back.
can we try that again?" So even little stuff like that,
Yeah.
like me not shooting. The reason why I shot is because I thought, well, it's got to be shot right the first time. Well, if somebody screws up an edit, we'll re-edit it. It's fine. So even just that one little piece for me, letting go of the shooting was really hard. But like, I think that my personal growth this year is releasing a lot of control, and being okay with that,
Yeah.
and being honestly, I'm be real with you guys. The biggest factor for me is the jealousy factor. I
Mm.
get jealous of my own team, and
Yeah.
I've told you guys this. They know it. They know it. I get jealous.
Yeah.
I'm like that event, and I'm sitting there editing. I'm like, this event is awesome. You know, I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys, you crushed it. Like, look at these photos. Look at this video. And I'm sitting there. It's almost like being a bartender where you're at the party,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but you can't partake in
Mm-hmm.
anything, you know. So being on the back end of it, that's my biggest thing is just like the FOMO. I love shooting.
Yeah.
I love doing what I do, and so it's really hard for me to step back and allow other people who also enjoy it to do that. But I think there's a lot of power in that, and hopefully I can take a year long, you know, hiatus and
Well, when you're able
make
to
some
do that,
memories.
that means you've sustained some great growth though too. So that's something to be able to be proud of and celebrate that as well. You
I
know,
agree.
100%.
Yeah.
when you were saying failure, that's honestly my biggest fear. My biggest fear, bar none, is failure. Failing my family, failing at my career, failing in life, failing my kids. That's what drives me to work as hard as I do. So I completely understand like that failure part.
Yep.
And it's what keeps you able to sustain at a high level too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I mean, yeah. You hit it right on the head. That's exactly right. Because I think that fear of failure can be a bad thing, if it's in the wrong context.
Hmm.
But like when you spin it for the positive, because I know exactly what you mean. Like I said, I don't know about you, but I'm not good at anything else.
It's
Like if this thing don't work out,
there's a reason I've been doing this for as long as I have.
I'm screwed. Yeah, I'm really screwed. And me and my wife have talked about like what would I do
Mhm.
if I didn't do this? Like there is no plan B for me.
Mm.
Like there really isn't. Um, so yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Failure is an interesting topic. I think for me, I've always tried to approach any sort of failure as not so much trying to not experience it, but to allow when I do experience it, for me to rise to the occasion of how did I overcome that
yeah,
failure? How did I, if I failed at something, did it motivate me in a way to come back stronger, to learn from it? Versus, I think the ultimate fear for me would be failing and it keeping me down, failing and it not allowing me to like
yeah,
get back up, for it to actually stop me. And I've been so incredibly grateful that I've yet to experience that. I would say 100% I've experienced failures throughout my professional and personal life, but at least I've always been resilient in the way
yeah,
of finding a solution to that. So, I mean, even to the point of what you were talking about with your team, or wanting to be the one that's on site taking care of it, I think it's because we know if we screw it up, that's on us.
Exactly.
Whereas when we have to put it in someone else's hand and then they screw up, I think there's also the element of,
It's still on you.
well, yeah, yeah, it still is 100%. It's that
Literally.
feeling of, had I done it, it
Yeah.
would have maybe not gone that way. And
Yeah.
so I try
Start second guessing, like, oh,
100%.
yeah.
And so what I try to do anytime I'm working with somebody and I watch them fail, it's the same thing I do for myself. I say, well, this is an opportunity for me to see how are they going to respond when they fail? Do they rise to the occasion? Do they try to fix it? Or have I set up an environment so much? And that's what I would say with your team,
Yeah.
that when they fail, they know my response is going to be, well, damn it, it should just be me, or I'm going to take it back away from you. So I'd say, as much as that instinct comes in, try and fight that and try and let that you I mean it's probably scary to have someone tell you this or for you to realize it yourself, but your team is going to have failures without you there,
You
and
don't say.
yeah, and you're going to do
I can
it,
see the leg started twitching.
Wait.
right? But it really is more important, I think, to create a team that can bounce back from that, or is at least familiar with when something like that does. It's ultimately just going to make your team stronger, and it's going to allow you during that time then to do something as amazing as taking that time off with your family to be in that moment
Yeah.
and to not
Mhm.
be distracted, like you said, and not have that FOMO. My hope for you is to hear that you're so immersed in that experience, um, that it's easy almost to forget about what's going on here. And then just get excited when you come back and you get to look at all the photos and videos.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My well, I'll still be editing and I'll still be managing the company from the road. But
Right.
Jeff had a really good quote. I don't think he even said it on the podcast, but he said it to me one time. He was like, when we make a mistake for a client, that's our chance to go back and over deliver and make it better than it ever would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually see it as an opportunity.
Yep.
And I've taken that and ran with it a lot. Where we were talking about mother of the bride that was
Mhm.
getting a little feisty, and so what do? We gave them a sneak peek that they didn't have. Um, we had a downtime hour we didn't charge for. I made sure to call her and personally talk with her for an hour to give her peace of mind that, hey, we're going to
Yeah.
deliver for you. And we did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, so I agree. And my last question um,
Before
was,
you go to that,
yeah.
really quick, sorry, just because I do want to say this. For me with clients, one thing that I always do that I think I've seen other event professionals make the mistake of is, I always say, I can't promise you perfection. I can promise you like progress, not perfection.
Mm,
Each time you work with me, your event will probably get better and better. But I think that sometimes we all have that pressure for clients to deliver a perfect experience, or I've heard people in our industry say that. So, yeah, just that was my last final
well,
thought on that, was just,
well,
yeah.
since we're getting so real here, my final question was going to be, what is like the cringiest thing you've ever done at an event or had happen? But since we're kind of on the failure thing, I want to ask you guys to be vulnerable for a second. What is the biggest failure that you guys have had? I mean, if you want to share, um,
Mm,
and I'll go first, I guess, for this one. And this one took me literally months to recover mentally from, and I lost it was about a $400,000 a year contract.
mm,
And the way that I lost it was the hardest part because I lost it after doing what I consider to be a really good job. And I they went with someone who had worked for me for years, was one of my like really trusted people. And I think this person kind of had talked themselves up uh, a little bit,
yeah.
and ended up they ended up going with this person, and long story short, ended up failing miserably for them. But just that idea that I could lose something so big to someone that I trusted so much not only hurt me like as a professional, but I had a personal relationship with this
Hmm.
person for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And so it really hurt me from it just gave me a lot of trust issues from a client perspective, but also from my team perspective, and kind of made me put up a lot of like safeguards
Yeah.
that probably hurt me down the road because I, wasn't trusting enough.
Yeah.
Probably why I shot 185 events last year. Things like that.
Fair.
So that would be my biggest failure. I think that the biggest, I guess, what I learned from that is that number one, you can't really trust anybody. Um, and number two, even if you think that you're delivering a 10 out of 10 product, there still needs to be a little bit of a personal edge to that. And
Mm,
what I mean by that is like you can't just rely on the merit of your work to retain a client. There has to be a little bit of extra,
Mhm,
and that's where that personal relationship comes
mhm.
in. Because at least then they would have done me the
yeah.
justice of saying, "Hey, we're considering going this direction.
Right.
What are your thoughts here?"
Right.
So that's my biggest failure, putting that out there.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll go.
Either way.
So for a period of time, I was in the event space looking at I was in a role, I was a community events director. So I was trying to put on events for the community. And I worked on an event that I was so proud of, that I really just curated the most amazing people. I found a really great local band. I was so excited to work with them. I worked with this amazing vendor that does these great custom hat shaping. Basically, my event was the Mile High Hoedown. It was a country western kind of
Nice.
event, and it was going to be, or it was at the Stampede was our venue and things like that. And again, had flash tattoo artists and had screen printing and just it was so well thought out. Had you know animals like a Highland cow, like mini cows and goats, and just everybody that heard about it was like, this sounds phenomenal. And I was hopeful that we would sell between like 1,500 and 2,000 tickets. And I think I had less than 100 people show up to the event,
Oh, wow.
and it destroyed me. It was my first time ever feeling like something I did just absolutely fell on its
Mm.
face. And the amount of responsibility I felt to people I contracted with that were there that had spent their time and brought their resources in and things like that. And to just feel so lost and to not understand where I messed up, how I could have done it differently. I mean, it was such a learning experience for me. And honestly, it kind of scared me a little bit about doing anything in that space. I applaud people that put on events,
Yeah.
community events, because getting people nowadays to show up to something is extremely difficult.
Sounds like you got all the boxes checked too.
I mean, I really, and that's what everybody tells you. Everybody's trying to comfort you and say, and, even my great and amazing vendors were like, girl, this was amazing and it's fine. And we still had a great time and everything. But just that sense of what it could have been.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm standing in this room, I'm looking at everything. I'm just imagining how different the outcome would be if I just physically had people there. Um, and it was just one of the hardest moments for me ever. It still is something that at late at night I will remember probably forever
Got it.
what that feeling felt like. And it's just something I wish I never had to
So
experience.
what is the biggest lesson that you took away from it?
I think that I should have probably tried to put more um in place with really teaming up with people that had done things like this previously. I think that I should have maybe had kind of safe kind of things in place. I think there was, hindsight's always 2020. You think of a million things you could have done differently,
Yeah.
right? I wish that to some extent we would have given out kind of free tickets because it was a ticketed event. It was something that people had to pay to attend and things like that. So I'm like, you know, there were so many different things. And I guess that part I was grateful for is that at least this really horrible experience again forced me to get up the next day and go, okay, how could I have fixed this?
Mhm.
What could I have done differently? What do I need to learn so that next time I'm not in a position like that?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I remember just wanting to die in that moment.
So
It's
were
horrible.
you in charge of executing it, or were you just
I was in charge of everything. I mean, I was a one woman show. basically it's a nonprofit that was trying to, for lack of a better, I guess, explanation of it, I think what it was it was a media company that believed that by creating an events division, it would create a revenue stream, which it does eventually. However, you have to put money into it
Yeah.
Ah,
first.
Yes, you
And
do.
I see
again,
that
because
so much.
yeah, because it was a nonprofit and things like that. And I think I was a little bit naive coming in. I had my planner hat on, I had my execution of how I wanted to do things. I wasn't seeing those challenges of the bigger picture of
Yeah.
all of that and things like that. So again, great experience. Still in a lot of ways so incredibly proud of it. Just wish more people could have experienced it.
It sounds like a badass event. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was so cool.
but that's why, like, when I was talking about Lionsgate, I'm like, that's and this as well. Like, this is your revenue stream,
Yeah.
and so with venues like that, you have to be really good at doing events because it's not a golf course. You don't have another revenue stream. It's not a city building where you have
Yep.
city funds or whatever. It's like we do events. That's
Or
what we do.
multi-use property or anything
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, or it's
yeah.
like somebody's house that
Hmm.
they like,
Yeah.
got a little side gig going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what about you?
It's kind of multi-part for me. I mean, literally while you two have been talking, I've just been sitting here racking my brain. Um, I have two events that made me experience things that I've never experienced before, and I had to figure out which way to go with them and how to move forward with them. But there were two things that were out of my control.
Mm.
Um, and then the other big thing for me is anytime I do outside events and weather.
Oh,
You know, I'm very big as far as like when it comes to an event, like it's gonna be solid, it's gonna be perfect, like I'm gonna have a good set, I'm in a good mind space and all that stuff. And then like obviously you prepare for everything you possibly can,
yeah.
but then Colorado, as we all know, has bipolar weather and you can have four seasons in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And that's when I have problems where I'm like expecting one thing and just the unforeseen comes in,
Yeah.
it completely jacks
Yeah.
my headspace because instead of being in that creative mind space
Yeah.
where I'm trying to throw a vibe, throw an atmosphere, whatever with the music that I'm playing, suddenly my mind's at, okay, is my tent gonna fly away? Okay, is my gear gonna blow over? Okay, is my gear gonna get wet? Is my laptop gonna get ruined? Like my mind is going 9 million places. That actually happened yesterday
Oh no.
when I was doing the Broncos tailgate. I mean, I had to shut
Oh,
down because of the rain and stuff, but literally I've got trash bags on top of speakers. I've got my decks being covered with trash bags as well. And I'm like literally just standing in there in the rain getting soaked while I'm looking at my gear going, what else can I do? What else can I do to
yeah.
protect? And just going like, like I can't do anything right now. It's completely out of my control.
Yeah.
But, like, I ended up, like, playing for, like, another hour and a half, and I was telling my contact when I got done, I was like, "Hey, I'm really sorry." She's like, "You have nothing to be sorry for. You handled it completely professionally." I was like, "I'm saying sorry because my set was not my best.
Oh,
Yeah.
My
yeah.
head, my headspace was just gone, like, I wasn't in that creative zone." So that would probably be, like, a failure for me,
Hmm.
but the other 2 that were, like, completely out of my control, I mean, that was really out of my control too, um, they were both weddings a couple years back. One was up in Vail. Literally, after the ceremony got done, the bride got altitude sickness. Like, not drunk or nothing like that. Like, literally, she was just white as a ghost.
Dang.
And so she's gone for cocktail hour. Like, okay, whatever. Start getting everybody seated, dinner, that kind of stuff. And then the planner comes up to me and goes, she's not coming back. And I'm like, oh. And so it was like, so we talked, and I'm like, well, they paid for all this food. We can't just stop it.
Yeah.
Like, so what the planner and I came up with was, you know what? Everybody's going to eat and we're going to go through everything and just have a party because that's what everybody was here for anyway.
Yeah.
And if she's able to come back, we'll pick up just as it was when she came back. So she was able to come back like the last 30 minutes. So we literally knocked out everything we could knock out that needed to still be done as far as the formalities go.
Oh,
And the whole time, just white as a ghost. I felt so bad for her.
oh,
And then
Goodness.
the other one that was horrible was she was actually in the events industry too, and it made it even worse. She brought her dog and to the ceremony, one of like the hottest days in the month, of
ugh.
course, older dog. The dog ended up having a seizure after the ceremony
Oh no.
and passed away.
Was
Oh
that at
no.
Greenbrier?
Yes.
We covered that one.
Were you there with me?
No, that was with us, Greenbrier.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
So you know exactly what I'm talking
yeah, there
about.
was two dogs.
Y-
Well, at least the one one
Okay.
was like a Pomeranian.
Yes, and then went to the emergency vets.
They
Yes.
left. The dog passed away. She came back to her wedding to
Yes.
finish it out.
And we're
Oh
like,
my God.
how do we like she's just sitting there a sobbing mess and
Can
we're
you
like,
imagine
what
losing your
No.
do we
dog or
do?
like
That was probably the most awkward one I've ever been, and I totally forgot you were there with that.
yeah. No, I was looking through the photos and
Yeah.
like literally the group photos, the dog like
Yeah.
its tongue. Oh,
That's
the group photos, the dog is its tongue starting to stick
Yeah.
out, and I'm like, oh my
Well,
gosh.
the dog peed on the dress too.
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
urinated
Mm.
And
onto the
then
dress.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
she came
that was
yeah,
at Greenbrier. Yeah,
yep, that
yep,
was the second one. Like you, what do you do?
Yeah.
You can't do
yeah,
anything in that position.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is what it is. So that would be the two things. But the thing that I feel like I learned from those, and I mean, you've had to adapt in
Yeah.
situations in the industry
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. When something traumatic,
Mhm.
like event altering
Yeah.
happens, how you respond
Mhm.
depends, or not how you respond shows the professionalism
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're at.
Yep.
Like still being able to maintain a clear head, get through things because you are also helping, say, 100, 150 people,
Mhm.
whatever, get through the same process.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that definitely raises the level of professionalism and what you can handle more or less. So I
100%.
totally forgot you were on that with me.
I like you were saying it. I was like, wait,
You knew
I know
exactly.
what you're
Yeah,
talking
Green
about.
Briar. That's exactly where it was. That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, can you imagine
Mm.
how traumatic? I
No.
mean, I've had my I had my other older dogs for 15 years, and I
Hmm.
can't imagine them going out like that, and then feeling
Yeah.
you'd have to feel responsible to some degree because you're like, gosh, I like put it out there in the hot sun, and like,
Well, I
you
mean, not
know,
only that, but how much grief you go through when you lose an
mm,
animal.
Oh
Because
yeah.
an animal's part of your family.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, it affects everybody detrimentally just as much as it would be losing a person.
Yeah.
100%. I
Yeah.
And
can't
then
imagine celebrating after that.
be
Like,
yeah, be
No.
right in that, and you're like, well, yeah, I just spent all this money on this, but oh
well,
yeah, I
that's not a
guess
failure
yeah.
on you, though. I mean,
Well, no,
that's
it's not a failure, but it's more like learning how to adapt.
yeah,
I didn't know like
Yeah.
nothing I could like that
yeah.
was coming out of me. Like, what do I do in this situation?
Yeah. Feels like it's working.
Yes,
Everything feels inappropriate.
yes,
Everything
a
feels, yeah.
hundred
That's so
percent.
crazy that we were. I mean, I wasn't on that one, but my team was.
Yeah,
I remember.
I think that's what it was. But yeah, that was a wild one. Those
Yeah,
two stick out. Will always stick out to me. And all the events I've done, those two stick out to me the most.
Yeah. No.
so sad.
Yeah. Well, not to end on a
Somber.
somber note. Sorry, guys. We're never having him back.
Yeah, way to ruin the vibe, man. Talking about vibes over here. No, that's no, thank you guys for sharing that. And
Yeah.
thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you guys for sharing your expertise and your challenges, your wins, your losses,
Mhm.
and giving us some stories.
Oh, sorry. One thing I did
Yeah.
get this to talk about was the September thing. So my September was normal.
Hmm.
August actually was crazy for me.
Really.
22 events in August.
Woo.
You, there you go.
Solo. So out of those 22 events, only two of those were not weddings.
They were
Wow.
all weddings.
Only two of those
And you
were not
DJ'd all of
weddings.
them.
Yes.
20
So
weddings.
a wedding for me is typically about a 12-hour day.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So that's like every weekend day,
Literally, I
basically
had
all month.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good for you.
August was insane.
So
Was
the
the
network is strong.
yeah,
It's working.
well, so August was the busiest month I've ever had in my entire career.
Wow.
That's fantastic. Good
Yeah,
for you, brother.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah,
That's awesome.
that was August. So sorry to interrupt, but yeah,
You're good. You're
Yeah.
good. I'm I do want to say thank you to our tech team. We've got a
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
we've got a new audio guy, Hoyt. He's filling in for Vinny. Thank you, Hoyt. Um,
I
I
heart you
think
back.
he did a good job. I don't know. We'll have to watch it back.
Nope, heard us.
Jared's over there looking good,
Mhm.
and Matt is on the switcher deck doing all the video switching. So again, I don't know how it looks. Hopefully, it looks good. But thank you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for watching. I have to do my spiel to kind of end it, but we are always looking for venues to host, and we are always looking for sponsors to help split the bill with us to keep this thing going. I'll keep it going as long as I can. I believe strongly in this podcast. I think that it gives us kind of like a little bit of space to share our stories, because we are the people, we're the backbone of the events industry, and we're the ones behind the scenes making it all happen. And um, I think that that's a very virtuous thing to do. So, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, shoot me a message. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on,
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. Yeah,
and
thank you very
we'll
much.
see you guys next time.
Yay.